everyone, I'm Ashley Conton. Great to see you again. I wanted to talk to you all today about banning the mainstream media's portrayal of stay-at-home moms because they've done such in a negative fashion lately that it's just corrupting our television waves and audiences alike. And I thought this would be really important because I myself have been a stay-at-home mom for over 5 years. I know that it's a tremendous amount of work and a lot goes into it. First and foremost, it's a tough decision to make. It's a decision that's plaguing a lot of families as they have children for the first time and even subsequent children after that. The decision to make whether or not you stay home with your child or you're going to enter the workforce or re-enter the workforce. So I think this has been something that troubles women especially, to make the tough decision. Just because you are at home doesn't mean you're not working, but then again, you don't get paid money monetarily wise. You get paid in little victories and kisses and cries and that kind of thing. So it is a hard decision to make, because if you can afford it, you still want to have some self-worth outside of the home. You always want to earn your own money and things like that. So I think it's a really troubling issue that people have even to start with. And then when you decide to do that, to be a stay-at-home mom, and then you watch TV and the television waves are just plagued with all of these shows that reflect stay-at-home moms in such a bad light. And it's not only television shows, but it's our media as well. It's news outlets. As a matter of fact, Fox News, Neil Cavuto, there was a interview that he did with a man who was rebutting the Salary.com research they did, showing that actual stay-at-home moms, if they were to be paid every year, they would make an average salary of $117,000 a year. Now, this guy was rebutting it, and he was doing so in a negative fashion, saying that he would love to stay home and watch soap operas all day and make $117,000 a year. And that is incredibly infuriating, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom, but even for those who are not, to hear these messages and make that negative stereotype, you know, casting all these moms in one group, making the assumption that that's what these people do. These women stay home and watch soap operas all day, when that's actually not the case. I also think this is a great topic to discuss because even so recently as a week ago, Mitt Romney's wife was criticized by Ellen Rosen. Ellen Rosen said that she's never worked a day in her life. And that's incredibly unfortunate and misleading for her to say publicly as a spokesperson and make that assumption about her that she's never worked a day in her life, when in real actuality Mitt Romney's wife raised 5 sons with Mitt, but her staying home allowed him to travel and earn the money and do the things that they're allowed to do now, like be a powerful politician. She was home raising the children. She also went through breast cancer and she has MS. So she has not always had an easy road, and to be criticized for not working a day in your life is just incredibly insulting. And it gives another negative light to stay-at-home moms. It's telling the audience that you stay home, you're automatically deemed lazy and worthless. And I think this really messes with a woman's psyche. Not only maybe when she's making the decision to stay home, she doesn't know if it's the right decision. Then you think about your financial struggles, but then you also think of things that take account, like little comments here made on national news for everyone to hear. So it's incredibly disturbing. I think we should ban the negativity. Of course, on the news, there's not going to be a lot of things you can do because it is objective and people can give their own opinions on the news. But I'd like to discuss a few TV shows in which that we could ban, to take a stand to support these group of stay-at-home moms and what they're all about. First, we'll start off with Leave It to Beaver. Everybody remembers the mom, June Cleaver. She was very well put together. perfectly crisp ironed apron and dresses, always perfect hair, makeup, pearls, the whole 9 yards. She was a typical mom. When you came home from school, you had your cookies waiting on you and your milk. She was helpful to her husband. She was contributing to her household in many different ways, although she did not work outside the home. She did cook and clean and entertain, and she also held up a lot of family relationships, and that's another thing that goes along with staying at home that maybe women don't get the credit for. You know, making sure someone stays in contact with grandma and someone's taking care that it's your niece's birthday. You know, that's a lot of things that go into maintaining relationships in the family, the extended family. So June Cleaver, this was a little bit of a stereotype towards the other direction, meaning that she was perfection and everything that she did was perfect, and that she was her husband's helper. Maybe she was a little too self-reliant on him. But now, as we move into this generation, we get to shows that are actually completely demeaning to women in their role. For example, the 1980s show, which was very popular, Married with Children, Peggy Bundy. She wore tight clothing. She belittled her husband, oftentimes in public, and even more so probably in public than at home. She didn't pay any attention to her children. She didn't have a great relationship with them. She did not cook. She did not clean. She smoked cigarettes. She was a chocoholic and addicted to soap operas. So, of course, she was labeled the red-headed monster, and it made for a funny show, but of course this depiction is not real, and it's not true, and it's not conducive of most stay-at-home moms. And fast forward into just recently, a shocking statistic that Reuters University conducted is that over 90% of children in lower income families come home and they're by themselves, because usually they're from single parent households and the parents at work, so they come home to watch TV to entertain themselves, and they watch shows such as Desperate Housewives and The Real Housewives of, which is a reality-based television show. They have a Real Housewives of Atlanta, they have a Real Housewives of Dallas, they have a Real Housewives of New York City. So children are at home, they're watching these things, which is unfortunate. They're getting these messages. I think we should ban these shows altogether. We should pull them off of the air because it's too risky to show young people, and also it makes some women who are already in these roles feel inadequate. These characters on TV, even the reality stars, they're out, they're thin, they're successful, they're rich, they have the perfect body, they have their jewelry, nice cars. Unfortunately, on Desperate Housewives, a lot of the times the women are bed hopping with one man to another, and this is just accepted on the TV show, and it's something now that's been placed in front of us as the norm. While the husband's at work, they will play, which is incredibly unfortunate. So I think we should ban the shows. Come together. Let's not be consumers of these shows. Let's help raise up stay-at-home moms. We should praise them. We should be thankful for them and appreciate them. And don't buy into these stereotypes that that women are so self-reliant, that we're depressed, that we're sex fiends, that we're house slaves. We're not any of those things. We make the really tough decision to stay at home, and with that, we're cultivating little people that will be in our society. So let's ban all these negative stereotypes that come on these shows. Don't be consumers of them. Don't watch them. Boycott them. It's not real. It's not true. It's belittling, and it's not getting us anywhere as a society, and it's not help raise up the children, not only that we're raising at home, but the children that have to come home and view such shows. So let's all get together and support these wonderful families across the U.S. who are choosing to do the right thing. Say no to Desperate Housewives.